So hello! On this channel we talk about independent spirituality and folk magic for free spirits. My name is Aster, and in today's video we are going to talk about something polemic, maybe? Something a little bit that can be controversial, which is menstrual blood in spiritual practices in witchcraft. So I had the idea of making this video because of a comment that I have received. I think it was in the video, my top 10 spell ingredients. Somebody asked tips for the best way to collect and dry out your menstrual blood. We are going to talk about that in the video, but also some other things related to menstruation, to menstrual blood, etc., so on and so forth. But before we get into the topic of today, I have a little invitation to make. I invite you to take a look at the links in the description down below, because in those links you are going to find a lot of goodies, treats. There's, for example, the newsletter, the Moonbound newsletter that I do the best I can to send out every Monday. Sometimes I have to admit that I skip a few Mondays, but I am as consistent as possible. It is the news of the modern witch. It is the Moonbound newsletter, and you can sign up for it in the link below. There's also the Perpetua Coven on Discord, our open community for witches of all levels, where you can meet like-minded people from all over the world, make connections, exchange, ask questions, and much more. So all of those things are linked down below, and you can join, you can sign up for free. You are very much welcome to do so, and I can't wait to see you being part of those little treats that I have to offer. Now, with that being said, let's get into the topic of today, which is blood. When it comes to menstrual blood and spirituality, first thing that comes to my mind are a few beliefs, a few things that we are taught about having your period in Brazil as someone who is spiritual, because there are a few things that people tell you that you cannot do because you are on your period. One of them, for example, being that you can't go into cemeteries. They say that you are open and that you are more sensitive and that you are going to catch something negative or whatever. I mean, let's think about menstruation for a minute, shall we? What is menstruation? There's the uterus, right? Which gets ready to host fetus every month. And when that little baby doesn't come, the uterus, I was taught by a science teacher in, I don't know, 8th grade or something. She explained like this. It's like the uterus makes a little bed for the fetus to be hosted in. But when the fetus doesn't come, the uterus undo. It dismantles the little bed. It puts it all out, and that's the menstrual blood. It is the sheddings of the walls of the uterus because the little fetus did not come. And do you imagine, do you understand the power, the symbolic power, the divine feminine power that menstrual blood represents? Because that's literally where life is created. That little bloody bed has everything necessary, everything it takes to make a human being exist, to create life. That's the power of a woman, of people who have a uterus. And in my practice, I call menstrual blood creation because of that, because it creates. It is the pure energy of abundance. And there's no such thing as the shedding of the bed being something that can stop you from doing anything spiritual. It's not an issue, it's not a problem, it's not an obstacle or a reason why you should not do something spiritually speaking. Those kinds of rules around stuff that is tied to a gender or a biological system, they have nothing to do with spirituality. They have everything to do with culture and patriarchy. So whenever someone tells you that you can't do something because you're on your period, that's bullshit. Don't subscribe to that. Don't believe in that, because you definitely can do whatever you want if you are in your period. And that includes spiritual practices, okay? Many people, if you cut your hand, right, and you're bleeding, people will kind of, look at it as something normal, if I can put it that way. They will try to wash it and put a band-aid on it, or try to help you cover the bleeding. They're not going to be disgusted by it. But that's not what happens with menstrual blood. People are disgusted by menstrual blood, like it's something dirty. It's something that should not be touched or be in contact with us. And even some women, they are absolutely disgusted. Sorry. They are absolutely disgusted by their own menstrual blood. And they just ignore completely the ability, the fertility, the ability of creation that they are shedding every month. Because you don't even need to be a spiritual practitioner to be using your menstrual blood to your advantage. You can collect it and plant it, as I say. What do I mean by that? I mean watering your plants. It's one of the most nutritious thing you can give to your plants. They're gonna love it. They're gonna flourish beautifully. But instead, because many women out there, they have a lot of prejudice regarding their own menstrual blood, and they would rather spend, $10-15 at some artificial gardening stuff to make the plants grow faster or whatever, when they could be using their own blood that is being shed every month without, it's not like somebody has cut you, but there can be some pain, but it's not as painful as a wound, right? For the most part. It depends on the person. Each person experiences it differently. But what I'm trying to say, the point is, you have access to that every month, and people just throw it away on sanitary napkins, that is disgusting, using sanitary napkins, okay? When you could be collecting your blood and using it for something that many people pay for an artificial product to do that function. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? I'm feeling a little bit confused today. Like I can't really speak. I am a little bit aloof, but I hope I am making the point come across. Your menstrual blood has a lot of potential if you menstruate. So stop wasting it, and let's turn it into creation, into fertility. Okay? So in the comment that I have just read, the person asked me how to collect and dry out the menstrual blood. So first things first, you need a menstrual cup. I'm not gonna show you mine because that's kind of personal, right? But you will need a menstrual cup, which is a little silicone kind of thing that you are going to insert into your precious one when you are having your period. And that little cup will collect the blood. The blood is going to fall into that thing. You remove it, and then you can take the blood and do whatever you want with it. Menstrual cups, they can be found anywhere nowadays. You can find them online, you can find them at supermarkets, even at drugstores. It's not difficult to come across nowadays, and prices are really affordable. How do you dry out that blood? It is also very simple. Usually I take a plate like this, little plate. I put the blood in here, and then I put it on top of this shelf somewhere, and I leave it there for like a week or two uncovered. And later when I go and take a look, it's dry, so I just collect it and save it for later. When you are drying menstrual blood, make sure to not leave like the container with the blood in a place that is humid. Like, don't do it in bathrooms, and no. Do it somewhere that is dry, where nobody's gonna see it, nobody's gonna touch it. Not because there is something negative, some kind of bad energy or whatever. No, it's not because of that I recommend for no one to see it. It's just because you can avoid needing to explain and having people ask you why you're doing that and what's that for or whatever. So put it somewhere discreet and dry, a dry environment, and just give it some time. It is going to dry like pretty quickly. I have some of my own here, my creation. Then you see, you just put it in some kind of jar. It turns into chips like this. And I recommend you put, you know, these little thingies that come with bags or something to collect, to avoid moisture. I advise you to put one of these things inside just to make sure that stuff is going to stay dry. There you have it. And how you're going to use it, as I usually say, your creativity is the limit. I like to use it for things related to the divine feminine, connecting with feminine energy, which everybody has, even males. We all have female and male energy within us. So whenever connecting with female energy, I like to use that. Also, prosperity and abundance related workings. I really like to use the power of creation, that which creates life out of nothing, almost. That's the power of creation. I associate the creation blood with anything that grows, anything that gives fruit, anything that can, things that you want to manifest, things that you want to grow. And in case you're wondering how to use that blood for watering plants, it's also very simple. You're going to take your little menstrual cup, pour a little bit of it. You don't even need to put everything. It can be half. You're going to put it inside, a bottle, one of those large mineral water bottles. Save one exclusively for that. You put some of your blood in there. You complete the entire bottle with water. It is going to be red and you use it right away. You just water your plants with that right away. Don't save your moist blood because that's going to go bad. It's just like meat or something. It is a natural material. You can't have that stuff lying around for too long. So if you are going to water your plants, make the mixture of a little bit of the blood in a big bottle filled with water and just use it right away. Menstrual blood is sacred and we should be treating it as such instead of creating stupid rules around it and throwing it away while we could be giving a meaning and a significance to it. How about you? Do you use your menstrual blood in your practice? How do you use it? Let me know in the comments. And remember, practice makes perfect and the power is in your hands. So let's get witching. Thank you for watching and until the next time.